Hey, welcome to Market Mondays, everybody. I'm Justin. I'm here with Fernando as always, and we are excited. There's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot happening with the markets, and we're here to bring it to you. So, hey, Fernando, how are you?
Great. Thank you for the introduction. Always happy to be here. Today, we're going to start talking a little bit about the price action of Bitcoin. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So like I was telling you from previous podcasts, the market sentiment is still negative. I think it was like 2 weeks ago that I was telling you that I was expecting the market to keep moving down, and so far it's been moving down still. From last week till today, we had a price movement of almost 9% on the way down. So right now, you can see that as I was expecting, here's a support for Bitcoin at 19K. We already touched the 19K support. We might go a little bit further below. So what I'm expecting right now the market to do is maybe go a little bit lower, touch the 19K mark. Let me go ahead and delete this. Hold on. Yeah, so maybe touch the 19K mark, then go a little bit up, probably around 23K, and then go all the way. Oh, hold on, messed up. Okay, 23K, 16K. So this is what I expect the market to be doing very soon. The reason why is because the RSI already reached 30%. And as you know, usually when the RSI reaches 30%, maybe a little bit further below, the market bounces. So right now, well, yesterday we hit the 30% mark. Right now we're at 34. I'm expecting maybe to reach 25, 30%. That should bring us to 19K, maybe 18K. And then, as you know, always the RSI bounces. Maybe we get a small retracement all the way to 23K. And then our next support level is here at 16K. We can see there's a lot of price action here at 16K. And yeah, this is probably going to happen over the course of the next couple of weeks. Once we reach the 16K support, we'll probably see more of this and then go all the way to 12K as I've been expecting. So the reason why—
Well, I have to say, you have been right 2 weeks in a row, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're right again. And tell me a little bit about why you think we're going to go up to 23K again before we kind of cross that 19K support level and dive to 16.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, like you said, so far I've been like 95% right about everything. So I mean, if you want to bet against me, go for it. But again, this is not financial advice. This is everything for educational purposes.
Yep.
So yeah, like I was telling you, the reason why I think it's gonna bounce is because this indicator, the RSI, let me close it and open it for those who are not familiar with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Because you go to indicators. This is on TradingView, by the way, relative strength index. So this is kind of like a chart that measures when an asset is oversold and overbought, and it is amazing. It is an amazing indicator. I mean, it's not gonna feed you, with a spoon the right answer on when to get in or when to get out, but it lets you know when an asset is overbought and oversold. So right now we're at almost at oversold levels, and if we go here, for example, let's talk about the dip that happened here on June 19. We can see that the price of Bitcoin was 31K, and then it went all the way to 17, 18K. So if we look at the RSI, we can see that it hit 20%. So it is an amazing indicator to let you know when it's oversold or overbought. So right now, since we're already approaching oversold level, I am expecting a bounce. And the reason why I think it's going to be, it could be lower. It could be either here, 21.5K, or it could be here, 23K. And the reason why I say these numbers is because there's a lot of price action here. So what I mean by that is that the price of Bitcoin touched this level many times. So we can see here that it was here at this level for like 7 days, and then it was here more for like 3 days. It was here for like 3 more days, 3 more days, 3 more days. So whenever you know, the price of whichever asset stays at a certain level for a lot of time, what that means is that it's very likely that it's going to be there again. And there's actually an indicator for that. I think it's this one. Yeah, so you can see here, there's a lot of price action here, and this means that it is super, super likely that we're gonna be here one more time. But you know, you also gotta use the RSI, and you gotta do some technical analysis to understand what's going on. But like I said, it is super, super likely that we're going to see this range one more time before we go down. And not just that, I mean, the reason why you know, Bitcoin and a lot of assets go up and down is because not only are you buying the asset, but you're also trading futures for it. So for those of you who do not know what a future is, you're not really buying the asset, but you're betting which way the price of the asset is going. So let's say that you feel like the price of Bitcoin is going to 23K. You don't have to buy Bitcoin. You can bet that the price of Bitcoin is going to 23K, use leverage, and make a lot of money. Or you can bet that the price of Bitcoin is going down, use leverage to short it and make a lot of money. And here's a chart from Binance that's letting you know the amount of people shorting and longing the market right now. So you can see right now that 62% of Binance users believe that the market is going to go up right now in the next 12 hours, and 37% believe that it's going to go down. Again, the reason, well, the market is agreeing with me. So most people saying are longing the price of Bitcoin. And the reason why I probably think is because they're seeing what I'm seeing. That
Yeah.
we already see RSI at oversold. And yeah, so you can make a lot of money by using futures, by shorting and longing the market. But you gotta be careful, because since we have these indicators, so the markets, the exchanges are always betting against their users.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that, you know, customers need to have in mind. Maybe not decentralized exchanges like us, and we also don't have a future platform, so we're not betting against our customers. We're just, you know, we're just retail. But Binance does bet against their customers. So since they know what's going on, they could do a short squeeze. So since they know that 62% of the people think that the market is going up, they can bet against them. They could you know, sell $100 million worth of Bitcoin, which is maybe 0.1% of all the assets they hold, and they can move the market in a different direction and liquidate all their users and make a lot of money. So that's what I'm talking about. Is a short squeeze. So pretty much is this. You know, when you know that the market is going down, you can see, you know, that it's not really going up. And then a whale buys a lot of future contracts, makes the price movement to go up, and then it starts coming down again. So this is pretty much a short squeeze. You know, when you're 100% certain that the market is going down. You're looking at the charts, you look at the volume, that it's going down. But a whale, and a whale is someone with a lot of money. He knows that everyone's shorting the market. He knows that everyone knows that the price is going down, and there's a high amount of people shorting the market, and they decide to move the market in a different direction for just like 12 hours to liquidate everyone. And sometimes when you liquidate the market, you take home, I don't know, like $200 million, and it's just going to cost them like $1 million to move the
Yeah.
market in a different direction. So they're
Yeah,
willing to
exactly.
risk, yeah. So they're willing to risk $1 million to move the market on the other direction, liquidate everyone, and bring $200 million back home. So that's what the whales do by doing they're called short squeezes and
Yep.
long squeezes.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like futures are kind of like playing blackjack in a casino.
Yeah,
It's
that's exactly what it is. I mean,
uh,
there's no better way to phrase it. It's like playing blackjack in the casino. But if you're really, really smart, and if you do market analysis,
right.
there's been cases from students in MIT that they went to the casino, and they took away millions of dollars from the
Yeah,
casino.
yeah.
So
That's
it's the same thing. I mean, if you understand how the market works, if you know technical analysis, and you know percentages, you can use that to your favor, and make a lot of money. I personally know, I have several friends that they're future traders, and they're making like 50K a month.
Yeah, it's really hard, and you got to do a lot of research, and you have to live it and breathe it. And yeah, definitely make your own decisions, folks, about that. That's a risky, very risky part of the market to go into, but it's very fascinating at the same time. So yeah, humans will just bet on anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, yeah, I mean, I have to say, from a fundamental perspective, I completely agree with your technical analysis. I think that the market indicators and what's driving the market right now is absolutely pushing us in that direction. And I really, really think that we are going to be on our way towards a much, much, much lower BTC, and obviously relative overall market, it's set for Meta 1. And I really think that the people who believe that this is just a couple of week, or a few week kind of dip, I don't believe that. I think that it's going to be much longer than we think.
Yeah, not at all. I don't feel that way either. And I want to show you guys this page real quick. It's called CoinGlass, and CoinGlass kind of gets information from all the exchanges and puts them together. So here we can see the total liquidations in the past hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, and 24 hours. So in the past 24 hours, $200 million have been liquidated. So imagine you're a whale, and you have a lot of money to move the direction of the market, and it costs you a loss of $1 million to move the direction the other way. But by moving the direction of the market the other way, you're liquidating $200 million worth of crypto. So it cost you $1 million to move the direction of the market, but you gained $200 million. So you have all this information available. Exchanges can use it. Here you can see, so liquidations, shorts. I'm not sure if this is for 24 hours or 1 hour, but you have all this information available. And if you know how to look at this information, you can use it to your favor to make a lot of money. It's like when you're sailing, and you have the ocean, and you want to get from one place to the other. And if you know the direction of the wind, and if you know the direction that the ocean is moving to,
Right.
you can use it to your favor to get there faster. So I mean, it's super hard. It's not easy, but like I myself do not consider myself an expert yet. I would say I'm a high advanced level, And I don't really trade futures right now, but I will probably do it in the near future. But I do have friends that are making like 50K a month,
Mhm.
and that's a lot of money. That's a little bit more than $500,000 a year. But you
Yeah,
get,
it is. Yeah, yeah, but I'm sure probably your friends are one in 500,000 or million or
or
more
yeah,
traders, right?
there's one in 10 million.
They just eat, breathe, and sleep this, and that's what you have to
Yeah.
be able to even be lucky at hitting it. And the cool thing is every time we have one of these market downturns, it's so cool to see the stability of Meta One.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I was bringing this chart here, because like you were saying, these guys that know how to trade, they're one in a million. And for those of you who are beginners, stay away from futures. Like I've been here on stocks and crypto for like 5 or 6 years, and
Wow.
I'm barely starting to touch futures
Yep.
because I know it's super complicated. It's
Yeah.
not easy. I mean, if you're gonna
Yeah.
do futures, you gotta be an expert. And yeah, so now I'm gonna bring Meta One's chart. So in this crazy market where everything's super volatile and the price of Bitcoin is going up and down, and so is Ethereum's, we have Meta One coin, which is super stable. I mean, if we compare with last year's numbers, in November of last year, the Meta One coin was at $121.
Yep.
And right now we're almost on November again of this year, and we're almost at $400. So
Yeah.
it's super stable. I mean, for those of you looking for a stable investment that is not volatile, that is not affected by the recession we're going through right now, the stock market, the Bitcoin volatility. Meta One coin, super stable and reaching new heights almost every day. So amazing to be a part of the team, and amazing to be involved.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And not only that, but we're more than a speculative investment. We're gold backed currency, and that's really fun. And we're starting to see more adoption for that and things like that. We have a lot of exciting things coming. So cool. Well, I know you wanted to talk Ethereum Merge that is happening in less than a month. So tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Ethereum is going through a merge in 1 week or two, max 3, I would say. You know how it is with developers. They say that something's going to be ready one day, and then it's a week later or two weeks later. But that's everywhere, because
That's
when you're
developed.
writing code, it's not simple. It's not just like, oh, could you change this button on the website? No, you got to
Yeah.
do a lot of math, a lot of coding, a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
order to make sure that things work out like you're expecting to.
Mhm.
And so yeah, most likely the merge is going to happen 2 or 3 weeks from now. For those of you who do not know what the merge is, so pretty much Ethereum is migrating from proof of work to proof of stake. In layman terms, proof of work is the consensus where you use Bitcoin miners, GPUs, CPUs, and all that stuff to mine Bitcoin and to reach consensus. And proof of stake does not use mining equipment, does not use GPUs or CPUs or graphic cards or anything to reach consensus and to get rewards. You do so by staking your coins in your wallet. And there's a lot of people saying that proof of work is better than proof of stake, but there's a lot of pros and cons. One of the major pros of proof of stake, I would say, is that it is a lot more less energy wasteful. So proof of work uses a lot of energy, and by migrating Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake, they're expecting to reduce how much energy they use by, I think, over 10,000%. 10,000%. So it is a massive number of how much less energy Ethereum is going to be wasting. So this is more eco-friendly. And another thing that it's a major future from the migration from proof of work to proof of stake is that in order to participate in the Bitcoin network with proof of work, you need to know a little bit about programming. You need to buy mining equipment. You need to spend energy, and just the mining equipment can be like $500, and the electricity bill can be like another $500. And
It's
then you
more
need to,
than that, especially now. I actually
yeah,
considered starting a mining business of both of BTC and Ethereum a few years back, and it's just so expensive. And the difficult thing, of course, is when you have this volatility, especially in a bear market, it's not really the greatest thing to be a part of, because your bottom line, which is basically your expenses, are your energy costs, stay the same, right? And then the
yeah.
coins are up and down and up and down all the time. So it's definitely a risk. I mean, now I'm not saying that it's not a potentially really successful business. It can be, for sure, and there's lots of people who make big money to being a part of that. But it's really expensive. You're right.
Yeah, and I feel like the people that make profits from mining are big corporations that have, contracts with other companies. They have contracts to buy the miners below market price. They have contracts to buy electricity below market price. And if you ask me, that sounds like centralization. So they are
Oh
centralized.
yeah.
Yeah. So because there's a lot of argument that proof of stake is worse because it's more centralized and blah blah blah. But it is the same thing with proof of work. What I just mentioned is a way of centralizing, who mines a Bitcoin and who doesn't. Because if it's no longer profitable to mine Bitcoin because price markets are too high, the only people that are going to be mining are going to be these people with contracts. And not only that, these people can band together in mining pools and do a 51% attack. So I mean, it's apples and oranges.
That's
And
true. I definitely agree with you. I also think that proof of work, it just creates monopolies. If you actually go and look at the major mining companies for Bitcoin, especially, they are really big conglomerate companies, and they hold a lot of sway in the Bitcoin network, which is, like you said, concerning because it's a more centralization.
yeah,
And also the barrier for someone to enter was, if you think about, if you wanted to be a Bitcoin miner, let's say 10 years ago, it was a lot easier to do that
yeah,
today.
yeah, absolutely. So the difficulty to mine Bitcoin every time is harder, and so is the equipment that you must have to mine Bitcoin. So I mean, there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis, against the Ethereum merge, saying that it is ridiculous, blah blah blah. But I mean, having just heard what I just said, I mean, it is ridiculous defending that proof of work is not centralized. Also, like I said, it's going to be more energy friendly, and it is a lot more user friendly to. So for Ethereum on proof of stake to get rewards, the only thing you have to do is open your wallet, put your Ethereum, and stake. And that way you're participating on the network and you're getting rewards. Maybe, I don't know what the reward ratio right now for Ethereum is, maybe like 8% per year. And that's it. It's super user friendly. In order for Bitcoin to participate on the network and get rewards, energy. You have to use energy. You have to buy mining equipment. You need to know how to program. So it's less user friendly. So if you ask me, I think it is awesome that they're migrating to proof of stake.
Mhm.
Also, I think the CEO of and creator of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, I think he's one of the smartest people on the planet. So if he thinks that this is a good option, it's because it's probably a great option. And I think it's dumb, that these people with zero credentials and zero knowledge are judging him when he's clearly a genius. So there's that. I think that Vitalik definitely knows what he's doing.
Right.
And this is going to happen, like I said, like 2 or 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And for those of you who were mining Ethereum, it is no longer going to be possible. You're either going to have to migrate to a different blockchain. I heard that Ethereum Classic still is going to be using proof of work. For those of
Yep.
you who do not know, there's another Ethereum called Ethereum Classic, which is this one. It's pretty much the same deal as Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, you're gonna be able to still mine Ethereum Classic, no longer Ethereum. What would be the word for the main Ethereum? Ethereum Genesis or Ethereum?
Yeah, I would call it the OG Ethereum, and
Yeah, the OG.
just so people kind of understand that there might be some people watching that are confused.
Yeah,
Ethereum Classic. I didn't even know what Ethereum Classic was out there. So, this is what happens. Which is kind of cool in the crypto space is that basically what happened with Ethereum Classic is they got to a place with the Ethereum developers that they did not agree with where the network was going, Ethereum, the OG Ethereum, and so what they did was they did a hard fork of the Ethereum blockchain, and they continued in the original fashion that Ethereum was going at the beginning of their start. So that's what Ethereum Classic is. It's a classic proof of work network, and obviously it's not as popular or as valuable as Ethereum, but it's still cool. And I think that's what I love about the blockchain space, that kind of everyone's doing their own thing, and there's so many flavors of sort of projects that you can choose what aligns with your values.
yeah, I agree. So that's I've always said that the best way to keep the market and the customers happy is giving them options. And that's amazing. The blockchain always gives you the option if you want to be proof of work, proof of stake, blah, blah, blah. And I just figured out, I clicked on the Ethereum profile page here on CoinMarketCap, and it seems like there's a countdown for the Ethereum merge. So
Oh
it seems,
yeah,
yeah,
cool.
I just saw this. I didn't know. So it
Yeah.
seems like there's 15 days and 13 hours left for the merge. Okay, I click there just to see what happens. So it's just like a bigger clock uh, saying when the Ethereum merge is going to happen. And it seems like there's some information here explaining a bit more into detail what we were just talking about. So if you want to see these, just go to CoinMarketCap. For those of you who are not familiar with CoinMarketCap, it's pretty much like the main page where you see all the cryptocurrencies available, their price, their market cap, how much volume in the last 24 hours. And yeah, so you click here, Ethereum, and then you click here on the timer, and it's gonna send you to this page, and you can learn more about the Ethereum merger.
Yeah, cool. And very soon you're going to be seeing Meta One on CoinMarketCap, which we're very excited about. And yeah, I think this is all great, but really at the end of the day, I think you agree. Really, for the end user who is using Ethereum, this really doesn't change much. It's really all about the miners. And in my opinion, the biggest problem that the network has is their gas fees. And this doesn't help
Yeah,
or change their gas fees. You're still going to be dealing with the high level and high volume of gas fees. So, that's one of the reasons why, Ethereum is not my favorite network, because I just don't think that you should pay, 10, 15, sometimes 50 or $100 to send some coin. It's more expensive than a traditional bank. But
I
yeah, it's
agree.
interesting. And, I'm sure there's lots of Ethereum miners out there that are not happy right now.
I agree. I agree. They're going to have to migrate to Bitcoin or Monero or Digibyte. I'm not 100% sure of all the blockchains that use proof of work, but yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are not happy about this,
Yeah.
but it's gonna happen. There's also a rumor that there might be a fork of the Ethereum blockchain. It
I
is
heard
just a
that.
rumor. Who knows if it's real or not? And what this would mean is just like Bitcoin has Bitcoin Cash. Where is it? Let me find it. Well, it seems like it's gone further below. Damn.
Yeah, it has. There it no, that's wrap Bitcoin. There it is.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Just like Bitcoin has Bitcoin Cash, it also has other Bitcoins. It has let me show you. It has Bitcoin Gold. It has
Wrap Bitcoin.
well, wrapped Bitcoin is pretty much Bitcoin. I mean, it is the same Bitcoin, but it is wrapped under the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
So what this means is that you can send this Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain and act like Ethereum token, but in the end, it's the same Bitcoin. I mean,
Yeah.
if you see the price, it's the same thing. So,
Yeah.
but this one, Bitcoin Cash, is a different Bitcoin. It is not the same one. And then we have Bitcoin SB, and then we have Bitcoin Gold, and this all, it's Bitcoin going in a different direction, but it's not really Bitcoin. It's a fork that someone decided to create, and that they said that they had a greater vision for Bitcoin under different standards, different rules. But as you can see by the market cap, it is not better than Bitcoin. There's a lot less trading volume, a lot less users. So it's just a cheap version, I would say. So what you can take from this, if we do have a fork of the Ethereum blockchain, it is also going to be a cheaper version with a lot less users and a lot less volume and a lot less market cap. So
yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. Well, that is the download on the Ethereum Merge. And I'm forgetting, I know that you mentioned that there was something else you wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what it was.
yeah, there's a few things that I wanted to talk about, but I think we've already gone a long way on the podcast, and you also wanted to talk about some stuff. So I just wanted to mention real quick that even though the price action of the cryptocurrency market right now is, bearish, that is going down, adoption for cryptocurrencies is as an all-time high. Even when we're at an all-time high price, we didn't have as much adoption as we have right now. The price movement of crypto does not reflect the adoption we're seeing right now. When we have partnerships with BlackRock, the biggest money manager in the planet, we have partnerships with governments, and now Binance announces a partnership with MasterCard to provide crypto payments at 90 million stores. That's like 80% of all the stores in the planet. So this is huge for market adoption. And since Binance is an exchange that trades, a lot of cryptocurrencies, I don't doubt it if eventually, by using the Binance card, you're going to be able to pay with other cryptocurrencies like, Solana, Phantom, Ethereum, whatnot. And maybe even one day, when Meta One is listed in Binance, you're going to be able to use the Binance card on 90 million stores worldwide. So this is huge for market adoption. And this is why I really, really, really feel that we're very close to the bottom, and that soon the market sentiment is going to revert. Is going to be reversed. If not by the end of this year, by Q1 of next year.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that we actually are a little bit ahead of Binance, because our card that's coming out soon with MetaVault, you can spend Bitcoin and several other cryptocurrencies using a MasterCard. And you also are going to be able to spend Meta One probably at the beginning of next year. And that is coming really soon to our ecosystem. And that is accepted anywhere MasterCard is accepted. So that's really exciting. And yes, I'm excited about this as well, because it's all about adoption in the space. It's all about providing more exposure for the cryptocurrency market and blockchain in general. And that's really good for all of us, regardless of what project you like, regardless of what ecosystem you like to hang out in. It's really important because it moves us towards more and more people being interested in decentralized cryptocurrencies, which is in our future and near future is really going to be very important as things like CBDCs keep on getting pushed harder and harder by governments. The more that we are seeing adoption of private digital decentralized cryptocurrencies, the better. So I think that kind of partnership is awesome, and I hope to see more of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, cool. What I wanted to talk about today is, I'm kind of a fundamentals guy, and Fernando is kind of the technical guy, and so I really like to look at kind of what's driving the market and kind of what's happening behind the scenes that is pushing not only cryptocurrency markets but all markets, in my opinion. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? All right.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about this this energy crisis that's happening in Europe, that is emerging in the United States. That is, I think that what people start to forget a lot of the times is that we are, as a planet, we are holistic. We are all part of the same humanity system. And what happens to several of us in one area, like Europe, it happens, reverberates around the world. And so this is what we're seeing with that. So unfortunately, we all know about the Russia-Ukraine situation, whatever you believe or think about that, but it is happening. And what's happening in the reaction to that, and in the sort of, what's happening to Europe and this gas situation is really crazy. So European gas prices have gone up over 550% since the beginning of this crisis, which is really nuts. And it's really starting to hurt people. And the reason why we really haven't seen the impact of this yet on the global markets, I mean, we've seen a bit of it, but why I believe it's going to get worse into the fall and the winter is because of, the cold weather. And that's really going to change things, because this has been happening all over Europe, and it's starting to happen and be impacted in the United States. So in Poland, we are seeing really crazy amounts of lines for days for coal. There are people who are interviewed in this article, which I'll put in the show notes, who have literally been waiting for days, sleeping in their car to buy some coal. Which I think is nuts, and it reminds me of the stories that my wife told me about communism. It's really crazy to see. I mean, there's a guy in this story who basically drove over 150 miles and went to this coal mine, and has basically been just sleeping in his car every single night for 4 nights, waiting to buy some coal so his family has heat for the winter, simply because of the fact that Russia has pulled off on the amount of gas that they're sending to Europe. So the other thing that I kind of wanted to kind of go over and talk about is how this is not happening just in Poland, but it's happening all over the place. Europe's biggest economy, or Europe's, biggest economy, Germany, have had their household gas bills doubled, more than double in July from 2021, which is really crazy. According to Check24, which is basically an energy provider, and also they crunch a lot of data and provide analytics. It shows that heating prices for families in Germany have gone up 78% since last May, year on year. It's really nuts. And this is the same thing that's happening in Turkey. a couple in Turkey in their 20s have limited using the oven 3 times a month because they're trying to save on energy. And instead of the husband driving their car to work because of gas prices, he's now taking the bus, which makes his commute 3 times longer than it was before. So this is kind of what people are starting to experience because of this energy crisis, which has all been created because of this Ukraine-Russia situation. I have my own opinions about that, but I want to stick to the facts, and I think it's important for people to really understand what's happening, because this is going to impact the markets. This is going to impact your bottom line, regardless of if you're in the UK or in Europe or in Asia or in America, because what happens in big parts of the world and happens to all of us. I'm interested to hear, Fernando, have you noticed any of this happening in your neck of the woods?
No, no, to be honest, I think right now Mexico is at a very strong position. I've been looking at the purchasing power of currencies, fiat currencies all over the planet.
Uh-huh.
And the only currency that is not losing value against the US dollar is the Mexican currency.
Nice.
If you look at the Chinese currency, the Japanese currency, the Turkish currency, the Canadian, even the euro. I don't know if you saw that the euro is now worth less the US dollar.
I saw that. I also saw that the sterling and the pound is very close to parity with the US dollar as well, which is nuts. I know that it took a dive after Brexit and then it went back up to around 140, but I think it's down around like 117 or 116 right now, which is, I've never seen it that low. When I was traveling in Europe, when I was young, in my young 20s, the pound was like 160, 170, and now it's almost parity. And you bring up the UK, there's a really big issue happening in the UK because you're combining all these things, right? All the banks in the UK are over leveraged more than in the United States. And you also have these skyrocketing energy bills that are insane. There are basically, within the last year, energy bills in the UK have gone up 70%, which is a really big number. I mean, imagine if you are if you're a couple with 2 kids and you're working, full-time jobs, and then you're making ends meet, but then your electric bill goes up by 80%. I mean, that's really something that's very difficult to even take on. And we kind of talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago, but with the massive over leveraging of credit card debt, where we have the highest level of credit card debt that we've ever seen in the entire existence of the world, the recorded world, people are already over leveraged, and then you're asking them to pay these massive increases in electricity costs. So this is concerning, obviously, because this is just going to get worse as the winter happens, and there really is there's no simple solution in the eyes of the system. There's a solution that they've been hiding for quite a long time, which is energy, which would destroy this entire thing. But unfortunately, they don't want that, and they've been pushing against that forever. So we're starting to see this kind of fabricated situation pan out. But I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever seen this many major geopolitical and kind of economic indicators and events coming together at the same time. It's kind of nuts to see.
I agree. Well, we're from a different generation, so I mean, I think this is a first for our generation, but I'm pretty sure our parents and our grandparents, they've seen stuff like this before. It's cycles, just like the market cycles. It's something that eventually happens. What I would like to mention is that I don't think this is something random. I don't think that the economy is like this sentient being that it breaks and then it gets better. I really and firmly believe that this is elaborated by the people on top, you know, the
Yeah,
people
man. Oh yeah.
for financial purposes or for power. Maybe they're trying to price us out of existence. I've always said that, you know, in order for capitalism to work, at least 50% of the population needs to be poor or below poor. So maybe this is a strategy by them, you know, to liquidate a lot of people, keep them poor, so they can keep working at the McDonald's, at the Walmart, and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you know, the gap between rich and poor is getting larger and larger and larger. And I completely agree with you. They create the boom to then create the bust to create the boom, because they also make a lot of money in all of that cycle. And it's about control, it's about power. And just like we were talking about CBDCs last week, you know, I was just reading an article about how nuts and how really just horrible it would be if we got to a place where CBDC was the world reserve currency. And this is why, you know, people like us are working so hard to make blockchain more adaptable, making it more mainstream, because we have to choose private decentralized cryptocurrencies over CBDCs, because it's really something that is just going to step the level of the police state and the surveillance state up to a level that we've never even realized before. And we're already at a place, I believe, that we've really never seen when it comes to surveillance before. And it's all a part of this control narrative and kind of steering the ship in the direction of these boom and bust cycles. You can't have, you know, you can't just have happiness and abundance and everybody, you know, doing well. And because if you think about it, you know, peace in the world is like the best thing for everybody. Everybody is wealthy, everybody makes more money, there's more trade. And then look what happens when we have these set up, created, controlled wars and things. You know, I was reading a book the other day that said that humans have had 16,000 major wars since the beginning of written human history.
Wow.
And
that's
that we just kind of, yeah, we kind of
know that's
ourselves over and over and over again. And when are we going to get it in our heads that, you know, this is not this is not good for anybody. It's just, you know, commerce, and like you said, the capitalist model is thrives when everybody's at peace. Because if we didn't have this Ukraine Russia situation going on right now, there would be no energy crisis.
Yeah.
So no, the other thing I want to talk about is kind of the impact of what that's having in North America, specifically in the United States. There are now 20 million US homes that are behind on energy bills. 1 out of 6 American households are behind on their energy bill. And we have a situation in the United States where people are more over leveraged than anywhere in the world, with credit card debt, etc. And so you have this same sort of situation, because when people get behind on the utilities, that is the first sign of an increase in evictions. So this is really concerning as well. And as we have to understand, the more that we get into this, the colder months, the more this is going to increase even more. And we are seeing the eviction rate in the United States go up because of this, because we have 3.8 million renters that are basically look like they're going to be evicted in the next couple of months in the United States because of these eviction moratoriums that the US government was doing during the pandemic that have now expired. And so, you know, in the past 12 months, we have seen a really big increase in the amount of people who are getting behind on utilities that potentially will be evicted. According to this Yahoo Finance article, in August, evictions have been up 52% overall, 90% in Tampa, 94% in Houston. And these are big, what I like to call pandemic migration cities. These are the cities that people move to from the oppressive communist places like California and New York during COVID. And so now we're starting to see with the government not letting go of these eviction moratoriums, which was basically like, landlords, you can't evict anybody during COVID. Now that that's over, we're starting to see these massive amount of evictions. And so, when we kind of combine this all together, and I don't share this information because I'm a doomsday doom and gloom guy, but we need to look at the facts of where things are, and we need to make decisions based on those facts and protect ourselves in the best way that we possibly can, and whatever that is for you. And I just provide this information as education, and everyone can do whatever they want with it. But I really thought this was very fascinating and not something that a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. I wasn't aware that so many people were being evicted, and there's definitely a major problem at hand, and something needs to happen because everything's pointing towards there's going to be a huge crisis, not only in the States, but in the whole planet. And we need to start doing something, or it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, but remember, just like you said, this is not random. This is controlled. And what did they do? It's the same thing they did with COVID. Produce a problem and then give the solution. And so we have to be aware of that. And when we're going into this crisis that's already started, I mean, people say there is going to be a recession. I say we're already in a recession, and
Yeah,
it's going to get worse. And so what we have to remember is when it does get worse, we cannot be compliant to whatever their solution is going to be, a CBDC, or what some people are calling the Great Reset, this World Economic Forum craziness, whatever it ends up being. We have to choose freedom, and we have to stand up together to be able to make that happen, because we're stronger together. So
I completely agree. I don't know. This is something unrelated. Well, it is related in some kind to what you were talking about. I don't know if you heard of this guy called Andrew Tate.
the name sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. Who is he?
He's a fighter. I think he's a UFC fighter. Like,
Okay.
one of the best fighters right now. And he got censored from everywhere online. He got censored from YouTube, from Twitter, from Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. He got censored from everywhere. And
Huh.
and the next day after he got censored, news started coming out saying that he was what's the word, like when you don't treat women right, like misogynist.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a misogynist, and he treats women wrong, and that he I don't know, I think he was inappropriate with a woman, whatever. The same stuff that was happening to Elon Musk. The thing is that Elon Musk has a lot of $1 billion, so they
Yeah.
cannot censor him. So, and the reason why I found out the real video, the real reason why he was being censored, is because he was talking in podcasts saying that the government was scared because people were waking up realizing that the government is trying to price us out of existence. Yep. By increasing the price of a lot of goods, that with cryptocurrency, that now the money is becoming decentralized, that they're losing power, and that they're scared. So he started talking pretty much everything that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
He started saying that to all of his followers, and he was making a lot of noise. And bam, the next day, everything, all his online platforms canceled, and they started saying that he was a misogynist, and that a lot of stuff that's not real. But the reason why I'm saying this is because you start talking about freedom, you start talking about what the government is doing, and what do? They censor you.
Oh yeah, man, 100%. It's I can't remember the word. It's character assassination. That's exactly what they do. Instead of taking out the sniper rifle and shooting you in the head, they censor you, and they character assassinate you, and they make up stories about you. It's crazy. But I think more and more people are catching on to it, and he's correct. More and more people are waking up, and that's really important. Every one of you who are listening to this podcast, just continue to do what you're doing and continue to wake people up and continue to realize that, there are way more of us than they are of them. And if we come together, we really can find some incredible solutions. Humans are so creative, and there are definitely solutions already out there, including blockchain, that can fix 99% of the issues that we face. So with that being said, do you have any final words?
No, not really. I would just like to thank everyone for listening to this podcast. And I hope that the market analysis that I shared in the beginning was helpful to you, and just that y'all have a great week.
Awesome. Yes, I agree. I concur. And we want to hear from you. Post in the comments what you're experiencing in terms of what we talked about. Could be about the energy crisis, could be your views on where Bitcoin is going. Any of the topics that we've shared today, or on any other version of the podcast, episode of the podcast, reach out to us, because we would love to hear from you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Every time you smash that like button, it helps other people discover the Market Mondays segment. Thank you, everybody, and have a great week. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.